So my whole life, I've been told that I am the spitting image of my mom. And I was always like, yeah, my mom and I look alike, but not that much. That is until like 6 months ago when I discovered my mom's photo albums from college. So from like the late 80s, early 90s, when she was my age. And I posted this photo of my mom on my Instagram story, and I was just flooded with messages being like, wait, you're telling me that's not you in this photo? So, okay, I guess we do look a lot alike, especially at the same age. And also, finding my mom's college photo albums for the first time was just really cool. My parents actually met each other on the first day of their college orientation. So all of these photos are of my mom and my dad together and their friends and going on all of these crazy college adventures. It was really like humanizing to see these photos of my parents before they became parents. So I thought it would be fun to choose 5 photos of my mom from that photo album, FaceTime my mom so she can tell me the story behind each of the photos, and then recreate them myself 30 years later. Photo number 1, it's just so 80s, I love it. So my mom is sitting in front of some sort of waterfall and her butt must be soaking wet because she's just sitting on in the water on a rock. We've got the turtleneck layered under the sweater with the gold chain. This is gonna be a fun one. Thanks for FaceTiming me, Mom.
You're welcome. I'm happy to help.
All right, so the first photo is the one I sent you where you're in the red sweater and you're sitting next to a waterfall. What's the story with that?
So that was the first time I went back to your dad's hometown to meet his dad and stepmom.
Aww.
And so I think it was, I can't quite remember. It might have been the first time or it might have been the second time, but it looks like there's snow around there. So it was probably December of 1986.
So how long had you and Dad been dating at that point?
We had been friends for like 2 or 3 months before we started dating because we didn't think we wanted to have like a boyfriend or a girlfriend in college because it was our freshman year.
Right.
So we just hung out for a couple of months. And then it was like October, November, where we were like, well, this is stupid. Like, let's just be official. So we're actually official. And then we had the Christmas break, and he had already met my family, but I hadn't really met his family yet.
Aww. So, well, you were dressed super cute. So you were dressing to impress.
Wearing, incredibly tight, light denim jeans. Of course, you see my gold chain.
Yeah, the gold chain was a reoccurring thing in a lot of the photos. So we did order a gold chain to recreate the photo. But I think I'm gonna have to just recreate it in the backyard with our little waterfall because I don't think I'm gonna be able to drive to Dad's hometown. My question about this was, A, what are you holding? You're holding like a plaid fabric.
I think I'm holding a scarf that your dad was wearing.
Okay.
He was wearing like a white, I have this picture in my head, and I think I have actual pictures, where he's wearing like a white cable sweater with that scarf.
Okay. And then you're sitting like directly in the water on the rock. Did your butt just get soaked? Because you're just in the water.
Well, it looks like that, but really there's snow on the outside.
Oh.
So you can see there's a little bit of snow on the rock, and I'm sitting in a patch where there wasn't snow.
Okay, so originally for this photo, I was thinking we would take it in my backyard because we do have these little like fountains that can pour into the pool, and it kind of makes it look like a waterfall. But then I realized there's no place where I could sit in front of the pool to get a similar pose to what my mom had on the rock. And now I'm thinking instead we should go to like a hiking trail or a park that has actual rocks and big boulders, because even if there's not a waterfall in the background, at least I can get the same pose on the rocks. Okay, wait, but now I'm thinking we might actually still be able to make it work in the backyard, because what if I sat here in front of the jacuzzi and then I could like tuck my leg here, put my other leg out, and kind of be in that same position. I mean, these aren't rocks, but it's like stone detailing. It kind of works.
Yeah.
Now, only problem with taking it in front of the jacuzzi instead of in front of the pool is what has that like waterfall feature that we can turn on. This does not. So maybe we can get Steven up there with a bucket of water, just pouring it down. Ambiance. All right, so I'm in my outfit. I have my painted on tight skinny jeans. They're not Guess like my mom's. They're actually Hollister, but same vibe. I've got white sneakers, a red long sleeve, gray turtleneck layered underneath, poking out the top, and of course, the gold chain. Oh, and then this flannel that's kind of similar looking to like the plaid fabric my mom's holding in her hand. So I'm gonna hold this, and then Steven actually is going to get up behind the jacuzzi and pour water down over to make it look like a waterfall. So, Steven?
I'm ready.
Oh look, a forest creature has come to join me in the waterfall wilderness.
All right, I'm gonna start shooting. 3, 2.
Okay, wait, that's so good. The water needs to pour a little bit more to the left. Shout out to the YouTube husbands out there making it work. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Okay, I feel like we totally got it. I'm really, really excited to see how this photo comes out. And for this video, I actually decided to do something a little bit different with the photo editing. If you guys remember my Recreating Celebrity Photos series, the amazing photographer who did that, his name is Tony Mo. He is actually gonna be editing all of the photos for this video because I feel like the editing is really, really important for capturing that like 80s, 90s film vibe. So he's gonna be editing all of the photos in this video to really try and recapture that feel of my mom's original photos. So the photo is all edited and ready to go. Let's take a look at my recreation of my mom's 80s portrait in front of a waterfall. This is so freaking cool. Like just seeing this photo of me and my mom side by side in the same outfit, both holding a plaid flannel. I feel like we got the outfit and the pose down pretty well. Maybe my background is slightly different. You know, natural waterfall up in the mountains, or my husband pouring a bucket of water down the back of our spa. Same thing, right? And I feel like Tony's editing really brought life to this photo and made it match the like vintage aesthetic of my mom's original photo. The main differences I noticed between my recreation and the original are the sleeves on my red sweater are like a lot baggier and more bunched up than hers. And my gold chain is much like thinner and shorter than hers. Hers was definitely more of a statement. Photo number 2, the one that inspired this whole video. This totally looks like a visco girl photo, just a couple decades before. You know, the like looking directly into the sun, the beachy hair, the no makeup, the oversized shirt. Very, very visco. All right, so tell me the story with this second photo, because this is the photo that like inspired this whole video.
See, and that's funny because this was like such a random photo. I mean, I'm pretty sure this was after we went to Wes's uncle's wedding.
Okay.
And we were all staying at this like kind of resort place. I think I'm holding like a piece of bread with cheese on it.
That was gonna be my next question, was what the heck are you holding? And then do you know how old you were in this photo? Because I saw that your shirt says Sigma Nu Spring Rush 90. So this one I think was a little bit older.
Yeah, obviously that wasn't my shirt.
Yeah.
It was a shirt I had stolen. Because back in the 80s, you wanted to wear men's shirts, big and baggy, you know, that whole visco girl thing, you know, that you always talk about. Anyway, I think I was maybe 21.
Okay.
But of course, you see I'm wearing a gold chain, even though I put on comfy clothes.
I know, and you have your beachy hair too. Oh, that was my other question I just noticed. Okay, you're wearing a ring, but it's on your right hand. Were you and Dad engaged at this point, or is that just like a class ring?
You know, maybe we were. No, we weren't. I think it was just a ring.
Okay, you guys weren't engaged yet?
Yeah, no, it was just a ring.
All right, I am really, really excited for this photo. Last night, I actually used my Cricut to DIY a white t-shirt and make it say Sigma Nu Spring Rush 90. So I'm gonna put that shirt on, and then I'm gonna get my hair damp so that it has that like beachy, fresh out the water look like my mom's did. I'll get a piece of bread with some cheese to hold, and we'll try to recreate this photo. We don't have those same like super iconic retro curtains as my mom had in that photo, so we're just gonna gonna take it with the curtains in my house and really try to focus in on capturing the like direct sunlight, shaded kind of like visco look. So Jess is setting up the ring light that we're gonna use to light half my face, and then I just wet my hair. I need to like mess it up because hers was like truly beachy. That's better. I feel like the key is though that I need to mess it up and fluff it up right before we take the photos. I also have a piece of sandwich bread here that's gonna be my roll, a little garlic and herb spread that I'm gonna pretend is cheese. And we didn't have any plastic knives and I was like, dang it, what are we gonna do? But then I remembered, I went to Starbucks earlier today and I got banana nut bread, and with that, they gave me a plastic knife. So I'm just gonna use this to spread onto my piece of bread. It's not white like hers was, but you know what? It's a plastic knife, so it's gonna work. That's pretty good. Weirdly enough, I don't think I've ever had to say this about myself, I don't think my smile's big enough.
I think we got it.
You think we got it? Oh my gosh, we totally got it. All right, let's take a look at my recreation right next to my mom's original photo in the fraternity shirt. I cannot get over how similar my mom and I look in these photos. Like obviously our backgrounds are a little bit different, but just looking at us and our hair and our facial structure, like it is so similar, and it makes perfect sense that this is the photo that inspired this whole video because we really do look so similar. Like I'm swiping back and forth and just looking at these pictures side by side, and Tony matched the like warm colors and tones of my mom's original photo so well in the editing, and we got the shadow perfect. And other than my mom having bangs and me not having bangs, our hair looks pretty darn similar. I know we're only on the second photo, but this has to be my favorite. Like I love how both my mom's original photo and my recreation somehow capture like the modern aesthetic. I know I was joking a lot about like it being a visco girl photo, but it kind of is. And also captures the like retro early 90s look too. It is so cool. Big shout out to Tony. I feel like the editing just absolutely transformed my recreations. This is the photo I am most excited for. Okay, so like I said, my parents met at their college orientation, so they dated all through college. And my parents were both in Greek life, so this is a photo from 1988. It looks like it's some sort of like date dance for my mom's sorority. I'm thinking it must have been some sort of like graffiti night theme because they have signatures from their friends all over their shirts. And oh, this is just so adorable. I'm gonna recreate this with Steven, and we've got paint and spray paint, so we're just gonna go to town. Okay, this photo of you and Dad. First of all, iconic. I love every part of it. I want the whole story. Where was this? Why was this? Everything.
Okay, so obviously that was 1988. And I think it's funny we're all like posing like it's a prom picture or something. But what this was, it was an exchange between the Sigma Nu fraternity and the Alpha Phi sorority. And what you did is you came with a plain white t-shirt, and it was called graffiti because Alpha Phi.
Oh.
Graphi.
Graffiti.
Yes, graffiti. And then you just signed we had markers, you would sign the t-shirts or spray paint on them. You can see, like mine says, Lori, my buddy, love Jay. Joy. I can't really remember who that is, but he's my buddy. It was a fun party because you could just write whatever you wanted all over the walls. The walls were just covered in white construction paper, you know, those big rolls. We just covered the entire banquet room where we were having it, the party.
Yeah.
Just in white. So you could just write all over the place.
That's so cool. There are so many photos like this of you and Dad that are just like fantastically 80s and adorable that I had never seen.
Dad's hair was super cool because it was curly, but then you did the shortcut on the sides, you know.
Your hair was like perfect for 80s hair too. You have like the feather going out.
Yeah. You should have seen my hair in high school, though. It was big. You want to talk about some 80s hair.
Okay, so Jess and I DIY'd these recreations of my parents' shirts, and I think we got it pretty close. Steven's just wrapping up work, so we're gonna put these shirts on and take the photo. And check it out, we even got a friendship bracelet that's similar to the one that my mom's wearing on her wrist. I feel like this looks pretty similar to the one in her photo. We tried to get everything in like the right placement, and then Steven's gonna put on the one that's a recreation of my dad's. Looking good, Steven, in your, okay, is it Sigma Nu? Yeah, it's Sigma Nu. I also like that someone drew some anatomy on it. All right, you ready to take this?
Yeah.
So at first my plan was to try and recreate that exact graffiti backdrop here on the paper roll in my home studio. But I was actually talking to Tony who's editing the photos, and he said he can add it in post. So that is gonna save me a ton of time, a ton of mess, a ton of paint. So we're just gonna take it on the white backdrop, and then he'll make it all graffitied in the editing process.
Do you want me to shave real quick?
Okay.
Do you wanna shave?
I will shave. But it'll take me at least 5 to 10 minutes.
I say shave.
Shave.
You wanna shave?
Do it for the
Yeah.
vlog.
All right, and he's shaven, ta-da.
Da da da!
Your smile is like a half smile. No, even less. Yeah.
I feel like I have the dumbest smile. I guess it's kind of on par.
You just called my dad's smile dumb.
Well, that's not a smile. That's like a.
Oh, I am so excited. I am so excited to see what Tony does with this. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
These pictures are just so funny, both the original and me and Steven's recreation. I'm just, I can't stop giggling. These are just ridiculous. I don't think I realized how funny my dad's facial expression was until Steven was trying to recreate it. And Steven's facial expression in our recreation is a little bit different. He didn't quite get like a little bit of the teeth out like my dad had in his smile, but I feel like he got the positioning right, the angle of the neck, the eyes, like so good, so good. And then the shirts actually came out looking so similar to the original photo. And Tony's editing of adding in the graffiti background seriously just like brings it to life. The main difference I notice in these two photos though is that I do not have the big voluminous 80s hair like my mom does. I mean, she's got her bangs all feathered out, it's all teased up, it looks so 80s and so cute. Part of me now looking at these two photos kind of wishes that I would have given the 80s hair a try for this photo, but I think one of the things I love so much about these recreations is that I'm not trying to look exactly like my mom, I'm just looking like me, and my mom and I happen to look incredibly similar. So this is how she did her hair in her early 20s, and this is how I did my hair in my mid 20s. My mom straight up looks like she just jumped out of an 80s swimsuit ad in this picture. I love it. No idea why she's posing next to some steaks on a grill, but I guess we'll find out when we FaceTime her. Recreating this one is gonna be fun because you guys know serious faces are not my forte. Okay, so I love this photo because you look like you jumped out of like an 80s swimsuit catalog. Like the expression, and also I want to know why you're posing with steaks, but you can just tell me everything about this one.
Okay, this, I'm pretty sure this was a family trip with my mom and dad. I think I was about 16.
Oh, you're younger than I thought in this photo. I thought this was a college
I was
photo.
16. Your Uncle Rodney had just done his first year in college, and we went up to Seattle area for a family reunion, wedding, and my grandparents' 60th wedding anniversary. We were doing like all three things. We were traveling in a camper, like with a truck with the cab over, you know?
Yeah.
And so it was just a lake that we were at, and we were barbecuing. Look at my gold chains. I have more than one. I used to wear 3 layered, and I think I have all 3 on.
Is it the same gold chain that appears in the college photos?
Probably not.
Probably not. You had multiple.
The big thick one may have been the same one. But like, if you look at my face, I don't know if I'm mad or trying to pose like in a cool way.
I thought you were trying to pose in a cool way, but I kind of like the narrative that you were just like mad and angsty.
I might have been mad and angsty. Or I might have just been like, don't take my picture. Like,
either way, it's working for you.
It is working, huh?
So we are at the beach to recreate this photo. I guess I can take my mask off now that there's no one around us. So the recreation of this photo isn't gonna be perfect. There actually is a beach nearby that has grills, like the ones in my mom's photo, but that beach is crowded and there are people there. So to be safe, we decided to come to this beach where there is no one. And no one comes here because it's covered in rocks. Not the best beach, but perfect for social distancing photo shoots. We have the gold chain, of course. Little red tank top, a black string bikini, and printed bottoms, as similar as we could find, and the very serious, very angsty teenage facial expression. Oh my gosh, we totally got it. We totally got it. All right, the photos are ready. Let's take a look at my recreation of my mom's beachside swimsuit photo from the 80s. I feel like this is another one where Tony's editing just absolutely transformed my photo and made it look vintage, made it look like my mom's. I'll put on screen the unedited raw photo next to the final photo that Tony edited. And I feel like the original photo looks like any other Instagram photo. And then the editing with the graininess and the tint and the colors, I feel like it makes it look like my mom's, like it's the 80s. I will say, I think my expression is not quite on the money. It's no secret, I am terrible at serious faces. And hers just looked like an effortless pout, and mine kind of looks like I'm frowning and maybe smelled something a little weird. But I'm really happy with this recreation nonetheless. It's super, super cool. And we even made a version where Tony photoshopped on the grill from my mom's photo. So now it really is recreated, like down to the T, down to the steak, down to the grill. I love this next photo of my mom because it's just so candid. She's standing barefoot in a parking lot. It looks like maybe by the beach. She's got her curly hair all out, a big floppy hat, chunky sweater. This looks like a photo that my dad would have just like snapped randomly. And then back then, you know, like before iPhones and digital cameras, every photo that you took was developed. There was no like going through a bunch and deleting just to pick the perfectly posed one. And I'm glad because now I get this cute candid photo of my mom. So this last photo I think is my favorite because it just looks so like candid and hippie, the barefoot in a parking lot. What's the story with this one?
I think what it was Halloween of my senior year in college. And I recall that after the Halloween party, we went to sleep on my boat. And so that's why I'm in a parking lot. Yeah, and then I have my hat that I put on whenever my hair was a wreck.
So this is after a Halloween party, after sleeping on your boat with your friends.
Because the Halloween party was at our house, and it was like going on, and I did not want to go to sleep there because you know what happens to you when you fall asleep at a party.
So you ditched a party at your own house to go
sleep on our boat. Yes.
And why are you barefoot? Did you flee the party with no shoes?
Probably because I was wearing uncomfortable shoes. I was 21. I probably had black pumps on that were horribly uncomfortable. And I just grabbed a pair of sweats and a sweater and yeah.
Do you know who took this picture? Was it Dad?
I imagine Dad, yeah.
Got my outfit ready, hat and all. Let's go stand in a parking lot. Okay, so I think we found a pretty good spot to recreate this photo. We found this little tiny strip of concrete right by the beach with no one here and a very similar stoplight in the background. The only thing it's missing is like the white parking lines. We won't have those like my mom did in her photo. I think this is about as good as it's gonna get. Let's recreate this photo. I feel like we got it. All right, our last photo number 5. Here is my recreation of my mom's photo in a random parking lot by the beach. I'm pretty happy with the way the background looks. Like obviously this isn't the same intersection, but I feel like we were able to find one that had a stoplight at a similar spot and a little stretch of asphalt that I could stand in just like my mom was. My mom was wearing a watch on her hand in the original photo, but instead of trying to find one that looked like hers and was more retro, I decided to just wear my Apple Watch because I feel like that's kind of a cool little detail detail that shows the passage of time and technology changing. I mean, these photos were taken like 30 years apart. And I feel like the only things that give that away in these two photos are the watch and the cars that are behind us on the street. So there you have it, my recreations of my mom's photos from the late 80s and early 90s when she was around my age. I'm gonna go ahead and put all the photos on screen one last time so you guys can take a look at the original photos and the recreations and see them all together. This was a really, really cool project just for me personally, and a really fun way for me to bond with my mom even when we're not really seeing each other much because of quarantine and the pandemic. I've always been really close with both my parents, and so getting to recreate the photos of not only my mom, but the one of my dad too with Steven was a really cool experience and just really, really fun. So thank you for watching. Thank you for letting me do fun, weird, creative things like this on the internet. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching. And if you do want to see more content from me, I will go ahead and put a card for my vlog channel up there. So you can click that if you want to see more of my daily life. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be confident, be kind to your body, and I will see you on Friday with another new video. Bye!